Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Sister Talk. My name is NENOH NDIEMA. Indeed, it's a privilege and a pleasure to have you watching. You know, just making time to watch this show is a blessing to us, and we consider you such a valuable part of this team. We thank you for making time to even talk to us on our social media platforms. You know, we are getting your communication, your chats on all our social media platforms at Elevate TV Kenya. But just in case this is your first time to join us, this is Sister Talk. And if you go on YouTube, you can find our previous episodes at Elevate TV Kenya and just enjoy the watching. Today, today we are going to be fit by force. Fit by force. Sisters, mothers, wives, all the ladies in the house, and even the men, you're welcome to join us. Today we are discussing financial fitness. Soto out of the window. We need to begin to change things around in the way we handle our money, in the attitude we have towards our money and our finances, so that we can be kingdom financiers. Senior. Yes, to the glory of God. So we have a wonderful woman of God. Hey. What do you find in your hands to do? You know, the Bible says, whatever you find in your hands to do, do it with all your might. So what is that?
I have so many things
to do.
Yeah, I just discovered recently when you hit 40, you have many things to do and very little time. Nowadays they say mambo ni mingi, masaa ni machache. So that is the reality of 40-year-olds and above maybe. And so currently for the past about 11 years, I have been in business. I left official employment in 2011, September.
Wow.
Actually a day like today.
Wow.
Is the day I was working the last in Safaricom.
Wow.
I had been there for about 6 years, but I have worked in many or a few other companies.
Okay.
Yes.
So you left employment to go do what?
I left employment to go raise a family, by the way.
Oh, really?
And in the process of raising a family, of course, I had to find something to do.
I tell
like you have said, whatever your hands find to do.
Yeah.
And so I knew I needed to spend a bit more time with, I had one child then who was 1 year.
Okay.
And I didn't have enough time, I thought. And so I thought I was not doing parenting justice. So that's how I left employment. Wow. But before I left, I had to try something, and that's how I tried business.
Okay.
And I thought I could make a few coins from business just to sustain myself and to pay my bills, of course. And that's how I found myself in business.
And still be available for family.
And still, that was the bottom line.
So you were doing business and as you were employed, while you were employed?
I started in June as a part-time. It was very hard to do part-time given the type of job I had. And so what I would do during my off days and every little free time I had, I tried my hand in business. Not a big business, just tried selling something. Yes. Yes. So I did 3 months. I thought, yeah, this is sustainable.
Really?
I can survive, yes.
And you made up your mind and you left?
I made up my mind and it was not easy though. Yes.
We almost need to call you back now to tell us, how do people live? But that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah.
Wow. So I think we want to draw from your experience and the things that God has taught you through your journey.
Yeah.
But just help us understand, is there financial fitness? Is it like something that exists? Our money we spend and then we trust God, you know? When do you consider someone financially fit?
Somebody says money is never enough. There's never enough money to say now, this is it. I mean, I don't need to look for money.
Yeah.
So that tells you financial fitness is more of an attitude. It's a mindset.
True.
And so it is not exactly a thing. It's not an end in itself. So it's just a part of the process of life and living. And so according to me, financial fitness is actually the balance, drawing a balance between your expenses and your income.
Wow.
It's feeling that you're in charge. It's feeling that this is what I wanted. Because most of the time when we spend, we look back and wonder, oh, what exactly was I thinking? So it's getting yourself consciously to think about money Yeah, money is sometimes very emotional, but we must deliberately think about money and plan. It should not happen to us, you know. We should just use it as a tool to enhance our lives, not the other way around. When the money is controlling you and you're also being controlled by the money, then of course there will be no fitness.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like what you've said, because I'm thinking to myself, the love of money is the root of all evil. But you're telling us we need to think about money.
Yes.
I think that's a nice way of looking at it. Like, this is something we need to actually process and see, how do we spend our money? Does money happen to us?
Yes.
Does it catch us unawares and leave us?
Oh, yeah.
You know? Wow, interesting. So in this day and age, where everything, you know, there's advertisement left, right, center. Like on your phone, something is being sold. When you walk, when you're seated somewhere, someone comes and is talking to you about something. A friend calls you and says, you know, I've been started a business on this, and everyone wants your money. Yes. And God also we still need to give to ministry. We still need to do. I mean, really, is it okay if we can just live slightly beyond? Slightly beyond. No, I'm just saying slightly beyond our means. Is it okay? Like these quick loans, you know, KCB, whatever other, you know. Can we borrow and live and survive?
And Fuliza. When you're dealing with money, you must be very deliberate, and it's a mindset.
That's true.
Because if you are working somewhere and a hawker keeps saying mia mbili, and you don't have the mia mbili, you'll not even look, right?
Yeah, true.
So when you have a plan and you deal with money consciously, you are able to tell, I have 2,000 to spend with whatever I want to do. So it's okay to buy, by the way, it's okay to spend. But what I have a problem with in this generation is where you're spending something you don't have, you know. If you're living on Fuliza and Mshwari and Tala loans to, you know, to take care of your luxuries, let me call them luxuries for purposes of this conversation, then it means you find yourself in a bad place at some point. And you should ask yourself exactly, do I need this? Well, if I need it, fine. Do I have what it takes to own it? Let's say you're buying hair, you know, hair is expensive. I mean, hair, 60,000 wig, for example, human hair. But your salary is 20,000, you know. That means you need 6 months. Is it 6 months? 3 months, actually.
If you're using all your salary.
You're using all your salary to buy 60,000 worth of hair.
That's true.
But you can also buy the 60,000 worth of hair after planning for it for 5 years. So that's better, because you will be talking about, I'll be keeping 1,000 every month or 2,000, or, you know, towards now achieving your goal. So that's why you have to be very deliberate and plan about money. Yeah.
I think that the worst feeling is that urgency to acquire. You know, you feel like it's now. In fact, when you go to that store, you feel like when you come tomorrow, you will not find that thing. So you need to secure yourself. How do I discipline? How does someone discipline themselves not to? You know, the hand just goes and thinks, you know? How do you discipline yourself?
You can have everything, or sometimes you can never have everything. Depends on how you look at it. Yeah. I hear girls saying that you see a shoe, I love shoes personally, good shoes, and you know, when you see a shoe and you come by at that point, you dream with it even at night. You're thinking, oh,
I just need
what a loss. And then you're saying, you feel a sense of urgency. You want that, you want it. But if you don't have money about it, then you have to train your mind, and then you postpone needs. You know, postpone your desires also, because if you're a microwave kind of thinker, or this generation we are in for the here and now, then later in life you'll be paying actually a cost for what you're doing now much later in life. So it's something to really put on.
So if I spend the 2,000 today instead of probably investing it, I'm affecting my future negatively.
Yes, you're affecting your future
trying to say.
Negatively. My economics professor in first year, I think, in the university. Must have been year 2001 or 2, No,
we're not saying you're old.
Oh, no. Wow.
You're blessed.
So, told us you have the first 25 years, according to the previous curriculum. You know, now people finish university at 22.
Yes,
well, 25 was ideally the point when you start earning. Between 0 to 25, you're consuming money you never made. So someone else must have made that money. Now, between 25 and around 45, it's time to make money for after the 45. So ideally, you have like 20 productive years. If you look at it very well, it's a very, very short time. Now, after 45, you discover now You have university to pay, you have a house to build. There's so much that need money that you don't have at that point. So if we can start talking about money as early as when people are in college, early as when they're in high school, then we'll set them for future success. You know. So we see foreigners here, let's call them wazungu here, coming here to enjoy in Mombasa, and they stay for 6 months. Those people are not wealthy. What they do is plan. They'll plan for 10 years that we are now in 2022. In 2032, I will visit Kenya, for example. I will live in, you know, this is the kind of money I'll need. And now they start working towards that goal. And that is something as Kenyans we must start working on, as ladies especially also.
Wow. Postpone needs. Yes. You know, I'm feeling that pain. It's like someone is telling you fast and you're like,
oh yeah.
But I think it's more gratifying when you finally get to, maybe if you're saving towards something and then like even the holiday you're saying, and then finally, you know, the time comes, the money is there, there's no stress. Hi. And we need to work on our mindsets. We need to work on our mindsets. Now, what are the symptoms or things that you can look at and say, this person is unfit financially? What are those signs? Because maybe someone doesn't even know they are not fit. You know, they think, we're okay, I'm good, my family is okay. But there are things, specific things that can show you, no, you're not. You're not in the right path.
I think my first salary was in, maybe 25,000. My first good salary. Well, my very first one must have been about 4,000 or so.
All of us.
As a graduate, you know. As a graduate. And I remember at the point when we earned 25,000, there were people who were living in houses that were rent was 20,000. I mean, that for me is living beyond your means. So if you find yourself at the balance between what you own and what you owe is negative, you know, it should be at least the same at worst case scenario, or a positive. I mean, what you own and what you owe, you know, it should be a positive balance. If at any time you feel like I earn 20,000 and my monthly, you know, expenses are way above 30,000, for example, that is already a symptom of unhealthy. So it is that basic. If you feel that you have to please people by the way you live, by how you dress, pressure, it's already a problem. If you feel you have to hide or block people on phone because you owe them money, then again, that's a very bad sign. So there are many signs, and they can be very stressful. If you find that money stresses you, the thought of seeing someone else with a, let me go back to a pair of shoes that you cannot afford, if it stresses you, then that is a bad symptom.
That's a bad symptom. Yeah, that's true. Now, if so yes, you have said it. We are living beyond our means, or you're just stressed all the time about money, and it seems like it's something that you don't have a hold of. I like what you said at the beginning when you said, you know, you don't control your money. It's like money is the one that's controlling you. Even the lack of it can also control you.
Oh yeah.
What is that like? What does it mean when you tell me money is controlling me? You know, and I even don't know if it's not there, how is it controlling?
Money is an interesting concept. Like, I don't like calling. You see, money cannot give you riches or wealth, but your mindset is what counts here. And
you should say that again.
From the beginning, I say it's actually a mindset. It's a concept. Because if I ask you how much money will be enough for you, you know, how much money will last you until the time you're in this earth, most of us can't tell.
True.
Because if you check the past year, the inflation, the recession, a packet of unga was on average 100 to 130,000. I mean, 130 shillings. Now it's 200, 250.
That's true.
So where are you getting this extra money to pay? So if you look at it, you know, critically, you discover money is something you have to keep adjusting. It's dynamic. It's not something you say, now I have money, I have made it. Oh,
I like
you know,
that.
you know.
I like that.
Being controlled by money means that you can't tell money what to do for you. It's always about meeting your desires all the time. You can't change. Let me give a simple example. If you are earning 50,000 in this economy, the way things are, and remember the fuel has gone up, unga has gone up, you know, everything has gone up. So the most obvious thing would be to adjust your life also accordingly. And most of the time you'll find that you have to really cut down on many things, including even where you live. if you're living in a house of 20,000 and you feel the 30,000 balance is not able to take care of your basic needs, then you might be forced to move to a 15,000 house. So where money controls you is where you're told, no, I can't downgrade my life, I can't change my lifestyle, so it has to remain the same. So that means now you have either to borrow from friends, from the banks. There are so many people out here to give you money.
True.
By the way, every day I think I receive about 3 or 4 SMSs of my circle, my you know, mostly my circle, my bank telling me, now you qualify for this type of, you know, emergency money. When schools are opening, oh, you qualify for an emergency school fees loan, you know. So they are all over. And the temptation to take that money is not hard. I mean, if I was to borrow one day, I'll get a lot of money that day.
That's true.
But how will I pay the money?
That's true.
So that is what I mean by money controlling you. Yeah.
Like you can't do anything about it. I like what you've said.
Yes.
Now, tell us something about borrowing, because we've said that fuliza business.
Yeah.
It's a good business, but in terms of me, who's the consumer or the person who's using it, like as if it's their salary, is a bad idea.
Yes.
Is there good borrowing?
Oh, yeah. There is a lot of good borrowing.
Because, I mean, it's made to feel like it's very wrong, as in we should, it's like you're living beyond, you're getting what you don't have.
Yes.
Yeah, is there good borrowing?
There's, what I say is, why are you borrowing? The reason for borrowing is very, very important.
True.
And if you look at economists rather, not economics of the world, including the biggest we know, all of them have some money they have borrowed somewhere. From maybe International Monetary Fund, you know, World Bank. And even the way we keep saying Kenya has overborrowed, borrowing is not exactly bad, because for you to grow, it is hard actually to save. The example I had given you, to save and then achieve your goal. Sometimes it will take much longer. What you need to do is borrow consciously and with a purpose. So for example, someone who is employed and they have what we call we call them loans you can take without collateral. Unsecured loans. I highly advise, if you're 25 years and you have gotten into a job and you want to buy a car, it is okay to take a loan and buy a car, because your salary will, you know, pay that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with taking a loan and buying a plot and building, but make sure, and that is why the bank says, talk about something, say one third rule, 2/3, 1/3 rule. So after they have deducted your money, you should be able to remain with 1/3 of your salary, so that you take care of your needs. Now, number 2, businesses. I am in business. I have been in business for those 11 years. If you want to move to the next level, most of the time you will have to borrow. Sometimes you grow organically.
Before you even tell us about the growth.
No, I don't exactly advise you to start with.
Because I was going to ask, can I borrow and just start a business?
Unless you have already tested the concept.
Sure.
I think this week or last week I wrote a blog on my, I have a blog by the way, puritykimodoblog.com. I wrote a blog on M-Shwari. And my question was, is it a catalyst, an economic catalyst, or is it a debt trap? And I explained and said, I gave an example of someone who want to sell bananas or tomatoes or clothes from Gikomba, and they borrowed 2,000 shillings. Until yesterday or the day before, M-Shwari interest rate was 9%. I don't know whether it has changed. That is including of exercise duty. And what that means is that if you take a loan of 2,000, in a month, you need to have returned it with 180 shillings. So this was my story. If someone took 2,000 bob and went to Gikomba and bought t-shirts for 100 to 200 bob, for example, and is able to sell them every week, they go back to Gikomba and buy more. So you sell Monday to Friday, you make money, you go back to Gikomba. So my estimate was you can make 1,000 bob every week. And if all the factors were held constant, then you can make 1,000 4 times. We are not compounding anything. It's simple interest. So you have made 4,000 at the end of the month. Pay M-Shwari 180 bob. You have made 3,000 and about 820 exactly. So that is M-Shwari. Now someone can still take the same money, go to Githurai market or Marikiti, buy tomatoes worth 1,000 or 1,500, sell to hawk them. For example, we are assuming here you're not paying rent, you're hawking or you're looking for customers. And so that is using M-Shwari for business. Now someone else will borrow the same 2,000 and buy a pair of shoes, a very nice pair of shoes on the street. Urgent one. And remember, the 2,000 still need to go back. So if you compare those two scenarios, you will discover borrowing is not exactly a bad thing, but it's just what you do with the money and why you're borrowing in the first place. Yes.
Wow, I like what you've said.
Yeah.
And that going to the next level in terms of when you're doing business,
Yes.
maybe you may need a boost so
yes.
that you go a bit, is it a bit
Yes,
faster
the next
and
level,
be able to
yes.
move? Is there a personal experience that you have had where you borrowed and it didn't work? It doesn't have to be very personal, but you can just tell us one that you think I should not have bothered, especially in business. Because I imagine someone who's in business and is wondering, do I borrow? Do I still hold on? Something that you learned from it and maybe you can share with us.
Yeah. I don't have a very bad experience with borrowing personally. I think because maybe I have been a bit conscious all my life, I think. Wow. And there's one thing that really works for me. I get very contented with what I have. If all I have is 20 bob, I'll work with my 20 shillings. And how I know that is because when I look back, when I had 4,000 and 12,000 shillings, I think my next salary as a lecturer, you know, a whole lecturer was 12,000. Minus tax and NSSF 9,000 and something. I tell you. And life was still good. For me, I think that was really the best I ever had, maybe because I was single. And so you move to 50,000 to 80 or whatever, you know, just up the ladder. So the money will increase. But if you look closely, just the basics, life is really the same. So for me, being contented with where I am and what I have has really helped me. Wow. I'm also very conscious about loans. I have borrowed many. I started borrowing. My first car, I think I was 24 years. I bought it on loan. Yeah, and I haven't bought land on loan. I prefer paying, you know, over a long, over a long period because it's not an emergency. Instead of taking a loan.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because what Kenyans are doing is that they have so many lands, they have really drained their liquidity, just buying plots and even gone ahead to borrow. And when you're in problems and you need cash, you're not able to convert that land even to money immediately. So you should be very careful when you're buying land, plan about it and, you know, just take it slow. You know,
I like
you don't have to own the whole, it's not an emergency.
That's
you don't have to own the whole world, but you can own it without stress also, you know.
That's good. I love your experience on borrowing. I mean, you're just encouraging that it can actually be possible to borrow and it won't be something that will stress you up or now drain your business. Wow, wow, wow. I love that. Now, tell us one or two effects of that financial unfitness, of which I think you've even alluded to it, that we are affecting the future. I just want you to lean in on that a bit more and then we'll take a short break. What am I compromising? When I'm messing up my finances now, or when I'm being unfit, or if I'm being careless, what is that I'm affecting in the future? Is it, you know, is it my children's inheritance? Because I honestly feel like sometimes you don't look at tomorrow when you're doing these things. You never even think about it. You're thinking about the shoe now and you make it a priority now. So what does that future look like if you're to extrapolate and see what we are affecting?
First, it's almost common sense, but it may not obviously be common sense that old age, that's what we say about mother tongue, old age eats young age. I mean, what you'll eat when you're old is actually what you planted when you're young.
Yeah, true.
And when you're young, you don't realize that when you're older, even the body has no strength even to look for money. You have no strength to work. And even when you have to work, you should actually just be working for fun, really, when you're old. So it's possible. So when you misuse what you have or what you have earned when you're young, you're actually stealing your future. Forget about even keeping. Of course, the Bible tells us a wise man leaves an inheritance, you know, for the children. But I can also tell you the children we are raising will not really care about taking care of us. I mean, I think we must be the last generation maybe that takes care of parents, really.
Why, please, Lord, raise a generation.
Yes, because we are getting civilized, things are changing. Because a child will not understand, why am I taking care of my mother? I mean, she should have sorted her life.
Sorted herself,
you know, out. So it's something we really have to think very seriously. Now, the effects, like you have asked, one, you also, if you don't manage your money well, you break relationships. Have you ever lent somebody money and they said, in 2 weeks I'll have returned the money? So you actually also borrow to help them because they're in an emergency. And then that day you wait, it's not forthcoming. A week later you write a text, she doesn't reply. Then at some point they block you even on, you know, WhatsApp. So what happens is, if you have someone who can lend you money, then you have blocked them. remember, this is someone who is really good, really. Nowadays, people don't lend money. If you want money,
Please, I'm
do
sure.
do Fuliza, go to the bank.
Sort yourself.
Sort yourself. That's how things are getting.
Yeah.
So if you have someone who can give you money and then you decide, now I'm blocking them. So
Messing
fast, the relationship just go. And you keep doing that. It's very addictive. And then you end up with people who can't help you. Or then you start seeing people hate you. And you can easily actually go to depression. Of course, the worst you can have is that you will have no money to eat. As basic as that, when you need money to eat. Because God gave you an opportunity to make money, and then instead of keeping a little for tomorrow, you ate all of it, or squandered. Yeah.
I need us to take a short break. I think I'm loving what you're doing to us. I mean, you're just helping us understand the future and just look at it from a deeper perspective. We'll be taking a short break, but we'll be right back after the break.
Good marketing makes the company look smart. Great marketing makes the customer feel smart. Are you looking for a place to advertise your upcoming conference, church meeting, or ladies' meeting? Look no further. Elevate TV is offering you a chance to advertise from as low as 5,000 Kenyan shillings. Talk to us today. Call us on 0705 872237.
My name is Apostle David Juma. I host the Encourage a Pastor program.
God wants the church to operate fully in the supernatural.
Who is ministering to the leaders.
And he said, son, this is going to kill you.
Oh my God.
Because I want to take you places only dead men can walk.
At one point in my house, I just switched off. Najua ile watu wanasema kuhani.
And this show deals with different subjects and matters and issues that concern the pastors and church leaders.
If you receive a prophetic word, the first thing is go back to God.
God values you in the office He has called you to.
So if you're an apostle all the way to a Bible teacher, evangelist, or a prophet, this is your show.
God, who began the good work in you, He will be faithful to bring it to completion.
Every Saturday night at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, you will be impacted.
Welcome back. Wow. Just before the break, we were being made fit by force. We were discussing financial fitness with our lovely guest, Purity. And just in case you've just joined us, this is Sister Talk on Elevate TV. My name is NENOH NDIEMA. If you've missed the first part, I just have to refer you to YouTube. Please enjoy rewatching at Elevate TV Kenya. Look for Sister Talk and take your time and enjoy and learn. And as we learn, we are going to apply. Yeah, we are getting fitter and fitter. So welcome back, Purity. Sorry, I think it gets to a point where you want to do things at once. Yes. Like we want to get fit at once. You know, even fitness for the body. Yes. You're like, I think I want to work out and today I want to do 20 sit-ups.
Oh yeah.
So now, I guess financial fitness may not be a one-day thing.
Yeah.
Is there hope? Can we begin to right the wrongs? Is there hope? Because you're talking about 25 and I'm thinking, some of us are thinking maybe 50 is close. Yeah. How can we begin to right the wrongs?
There is so much hope.
Oh, really?
There's always hope.
Yes.
I mean, if you're alive, there's a lot of hope for you. And like you've mentioned about even health, I mean, body fitness, for example. Yeah. I remember when I get a baby, remember I have 3, I really add a lot of weight, you know. Boys feed a lot, and so you also need to eat, and so you end up eating. And so most of the time I have to deal with an extra 20 kg on me.
I tell you.
And what I discovered is that I start working on them consciously, but I don't think about, am I losing weight? And it takes a while, you know, before I can actually shed that weight. I'm just actually from baby fat now. I'm kind of back now.
Wow, but you're doing well.
Oh yeah. So what I noticed is it's the daily things you do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been deliberate. You're like, I wake up every morning, do about 7 to 10 minutes of a stretch, and then I'm reducing the size of, you know, my portions, you know. So even with financial fitness, it's the same. It's about that one coin. It's actually about cents, you know, shillings. Cents. It's not about millions. Like no, it's not about millions. Like yeah. So it's about, I have been, you know, going to the salon to make my nails every week. Can I make it 1.5 weeks? Yeah, and save 500 shillings. We are not saving a lot, by the way. And so you adjust your life accordingly. Make it slow, make it enjoyable. Don't be abrupt because it will discourage you and you'll give up. You know, it's like the people who go to the gym 1 month, they lose 10 kgs. The next month they go back to eating and now they gain now another 20. So that is the same with financial fitness. So start it small. There are many ways you can put money aside. And one of them is just knowing. The same way in the house of God, we bring the 10% tithe. You know, so you remove it from your head. You're like, you're dealing with 90%.
Wow.
Now, this 90% actually is your wealth. It's not the 10%.
Yeah.
You know, we also have this thing of when I give God 10% now, He'll bless me. He has already given you 90.
That's why you're
Work
giving
with the
10.
90. Work with the 90. The 90 is what actually will change your life. Yeah. And one of the many ways you can do, again in the Kenyan context, is saving in a circle. Saving in a circle gives you the discipline so that when you want to borrow, you're actually borrowing a multiple of what you have saved. For example, if you have saved 100,000 shillings in a circle, it means when you want to take a loan, you qualify for 300,000. It's that gradual. It's very small. So that's one way you can save. Make sure every month you're saving something, no matter how much you want. If you want 10,000, put just 1,000 bob away. Yeah, and then work with the rest of the money. Yes. So you can buy shares. You don't have to buy shares in millions. The minimum number of shares you can buy per counter is actually 100 only. So it means if, for example, Britam is selling the account at 11 shillings, you only need 1,100 to buy 100 shares. They come in batches of 100. So Safaricom the same. If Safaricom is selling at, I think yesterday it was around 26 and you want 100 shares, it is 2,600. And you can also save for a month and say, this month I'm buying Safaricom. Next month I'm buying Standard Chartered. Next month, the other month I'm buying Equity. The other month I'm buying KCB. Wow. You know? So it is something you do, but in very small bits. You don't have to one day wake up and say, I'm waiting for an IPO of a certain company. The shares actually trade every day, Monday to Friday at the NSE. They do. So it's very small things that will help you. The other way you can save your money is by buying money markets. They're called unit trust. They're sold by insurance companies, ICA, CIC, we have Britam. There are many people out here, by the way, to take care of your money. Take care of your money. So there's a lot of hope. Yeah. And if money is not enough, the truth is now you need to expand your income streams. Yes. Start selling something. Yeah. Even if it's on Sunday when you're coming to church. There's one time I had farmed some skuma wikis in my garden and there was so much. And so I would put them in a gunia, and when I'm going to church on Sunday, I've tied batches. Mama nani skuma. And I mean, it may look kind of very basic. Yeah. But trust you me, that will give you an extra 1,000, an extra 2,000. That 2,000, you can actually decide to save it or put it aside. So if your salary is so little, you can't save anything. Then you need to find another way of making money. Yeah.
I love what you're saying. Now, you're at least what you have said is if you're on zero or on positive.
Yes.
What if you're in debt? How do you save? I mean, you're in debt. Yes. All the whatevers, yes. You have done all of them, and you're stranded. You're literally feeling totally without control of your money, like you're not in control, and it's something that's stressing the mind. You know, how do you begin from that negative to get to the place where you can get to positive?
You know, when you have a problem and the first thing you do is accept the problem, you have already solved that problem halfway. That's fair. Just accepting where you are, you know, accepting yourself, accepting, I may have made mistakes, or actually you haven't even made mistakes. Life has happened, really. And here you are, you're in debt.
It does.
So the the fact that you're conscious enough to know that I'm in debt and I need to plan my life, that is already a huge step forward, because many people are actually in denial, and that now keeps keeps taking them in problems every day. So the first thing, recognize, I owe, let's say you owe friends for this purpose, I mean, so I owe so and so 1,000, the other one I owe them 2,000, the other one I owe them 1,000,000. So plan, tell them I'm not able to pay you now. Communicate. Communication is very important. There is no person here who has not found themselves in a tight place. It may not be financially, but just naturally life will put you down, and the other time you'll be up. So you will be surprised people understand more than you think. So call that person or visit them with the same energy you went to borrow. And next, even the banks, they are aware that you can be down sometime. Tell them, please reschedule my loan. Give me this much time. I'm doing something about it. Go to your friend and tell them, I know you gave me 1,000 shillings. Please allow me to be paying you 10 shillings every week. Yeah, 10 shillings every week. I mean, it will take me 3 months to have paid you your 1,000. 3 months, but I'll have paid your money. So have a plan. Don't run away. Don't block people on WhatsApp and all that. And be content. You will see pictures of people in Instagram, in Hawaii, in Seychelles, in Santorini.
Pressure.
Then your day will come if that is what you want. But don't try to live anybody's life. Yeah, so plan, and you know what? As long as you arrive, you're not at negative, by the way. You know, you are alive, you have hearts, you're in good good health. I think that is the biggest asset you can have. And so don't give up. Don't get depressed over money. Money come and go, you know. But what you have inside you is your drive can make a difference. And don't shy. Ask for help, you know. Ask for help. If you know a financial coach who can help you and guide you, go to them and tell them, I'm struggling here. What do you think I'm doing wrong?
You also need to pay.
But there are people there. There are people out here who are ready. And there are also people, you will also always have a friend who you think you can seek help from. I know I've sat with several friends, actually many people, and told them, the way you're living, it's not sustainable.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You coaching for free?
Oh yeah, for free. But it has to be someone who understands you and someone who really is close to you, because it's also very sensitive. And Kenyans are also very sensitive people. So if someone is your friend, you tell, hey, so how did you do this? And if they're positive enough, they will listen to you. There's a lot of help out here, but also there's a problem because many people don't want to listen, and they also think they know, or they don't even want to seek help. Yeah. So there's hope.
When you're completely down.
Oh, you're so like, down. You can't even be less good.
You have hit it. You have hit it. I feel like just adding to that. I mean, asking a different way. Yeah. Now, everyone needs money.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have a text for a wedding, then you have a text for a funeral.
Yeah.
Then there's a committee for I don't know what, and there's what. How do we manage all that lending so that you're also not now left probably almost without, or you're affecting your own, even church, you know, there's a lot of giving that we need to do here, there, everywhere. What's the wisdom? I know it can be figures, but what would be the wisdom around that? Because again, like you're just saying, money and relationships, you know, someone would think you didn't come through for me, and it was my wedding, or it was like a funeral for my dad. And you're like, honestly speaking, is it that we put a capping in that amount that we can give per month as a family or as an individual? What's the wisdom that you can pour into that?
Number one thing, like I said from the beginning, be conscious about money. Don't be emotional at all.
Wow, yes, deep.
And remember I said, even with the little luxuries you feel like I usually misuse money in this, schedule that. Schedule the luxury.
Wow.
Yeah, schedule it. If you want 10,000 a month and you think your luxury usually cost 500, schedule the luxury. If you want to go to the spa, schedule the spa, you know. Otherwise, if you just decide, today I'll go to the spa, you know, and you don't have the money for the next meal, that makes sense. Now, even for giving, unfortunately, in this age of WhatsApp and Facebook,
and groups,
you wake up in the morning and you find yourself in 20 WhatsApp groups. One is for a wedding, one is for, you know, for mazishi.
And they're all urgent.
There's one rule I live by, which took me time to just get there. I think with age, you also get there. Number one thing, just learn to say no where you cannot. Then you are not a superhuman being.
True.
You are only human, by the way, other than the grace of God that helps us.
That's true.
Yeah, so It is good because the tithing is a percentage. So if you earn a shilling, it's a 10% of 1 shilling. But of course, you can give beyond. Schedule your giving. Nowadays, there are many people who need help. Maybe you have kids you're taking to school who are not yours. You have parents you're taking care of. And now the other things. So if you don't schedule them, if you don't learn to say, no, this time I'm not able, you actually get depressed.
That's true.
Yeah, so if you're in a WhatsApp group that you feel you come, just politely tell that person, I'm sorry, at this time, I'm not able to be in this WhatsApp group. Because if you don't do that, then I think we are getting to a very bad space in this country. And people also need to understand that sometimes you actually don't have money. I sell cars, and unfortunately, when you sell cars, people think you have a lot of money.
Exactly.
Actually,
I was going to ask you, what about family who think, of course, she sells cars, she should be able to give us money?
Family is even easier. Their
family
friends,
is easier. Friends is harder.
I mean, someone will call you and tell you, I need 2 million urgently. So
because they expect that you've sold a car.
Yeah,
and you have
I mean, 2 million actually in the business look like pocket change, really, in real sense. It's nothing.
Yeah.
But you see, it's nothing, but you also don't have it because how business operates, the money get in and get out.
Get out, yes.
So you are always there in the equilibrium.
That's true.
And it's a business. It's not something you go now. When you remove, the business will just die. And
that's actually the capital, right?
It's the capital, and it's what runs the business. It's the liquidity is actually like the blood of the business.
Interesting.
So someone has called, they are not even given a very good scenario or story of why they need money and they expect you. So by the way, just learn to say no and put it a no. Yeah, because you are not superhuman. You are not even Jesus. Jesus is the only superhuman we had. He came to save us all. So if you try to save the world, trust you me.
You're not
you
kind.
Can't.
You're not Jesus.
You're not Jesus. There is only one Jesus. He came, saved us, died for us.
Yes.
I mean, nobody will ever die.
And even give us power.
Don't
to
actually
make
try to die for people.
That's true.
Because I think even God will be very unpleased. Yeah. And also, don't take over people's lives.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes also in a family, when you look like you're the one who's blessed or whatever, there's that tendency, or you are under pressure to take over everybody's problems. And the truth is, no matter how wealthy you are, you can never take over people's lives and problems.
It's up. I mean, everyone has to carry their bear their own burden.
Someone was saying, I don't know whether it's true or maybe it's an observation. They were saying why we are poor in Africa is because we are always carrying so much burdens. But on a light note, take care of other people, but have a limit, have boundaries. Protect yourself, protect your family from unrealistic expectations. And once you learn to say no where a no should apply and yes where you can, people will also respect that and they will know.
Wow. Thank you. We are drawing. There's something I think you've already hinted a bit from your personal experiences, but I'd just like you to take us through your journey in terms of the things that you have learned that have kept you. First, you were in employment at some point. So you've been in business only the 11 years. So you've tested both worlds. What about money have you learned over time that has made you now more, conscious and more disciplined and even able to now manage what you're handling, just on a personal level? And even as you think about that, you can also hint at us whether are you also empowering the little ones or wealth will end with you, because I'm thinking our children are growing and they're looking at us. But first, tell us any personal experiences and you can just see how to tie that together.
Actually, if you think about money, you'll just discover money is nothing. It's like weed. It just blows. It's actually a currency. It's a currency. Even you have 100 million, but it's not in your house. It's in the bank. So that money is not even yours. It's somewhere being traded with.
That's true.
Imagine, think about M-Pesa, a very interesting product. Who would have thought you'd have money in a phone? I mean, that's why I told you it's a weed. It's passing through just, something to use to make your life better. The unfortunate bit about money is that you have to earn it. Unless you're in the wash business ready to come, the rest of us, you have to earn, you have to work hard, you have to sweat. Sometimes you earn it through the nose, And once you understand, money will never make you happy, by the way. It's the plan you have. For example, you could be having money and you fly to, let me take Santorini again. And someone else goes to Karura and takes a 1 hour walk. and refreshes and breathe in some good oxygen, buys a banana, for 10 bob. Well, it's hard to quantify both those experiences. But I can almost tell you the effect is the same. You want rest, you gotten rest. So how much you spent to get that rest is no longer relevant. And once you use money, it's gone. It's gone and gone. I don't think the biggest problem we have is how much we earn. The biggest problem we have is how long you can hold to what you earn. How long? Can you keep, if you earn 100 shillings, how long does it take before it's over? There's one who uses it in a day, another one will take 3 months. And you can tell the person who postpones, needs and wants, will be happier because they are not under pressure. By the way, when you feel like buying something, sleep over it. Always sleep over it, no matter how urgent it is.
I like that.
Even if someone, unless it's an emergency and someone gonna die, if you don't set that 5,000, sleep over it. By tomorrow you will discover that need is no longer there, or it has reduced. You have thought about it. But if you deal with money emotionally all the time, nani amenitisha 5k, then you start borrowing. Hey, give me, nani atanisaidia, if I raise value. And this money is not yours. And the people you've addressed from also are expecting you to return. Then you give someone who will never return. So it's a very very tricky situation. So my journey, like I've told you, I remember when I got my first good job. I like calling it my first good job. I never moved from my house. I didn't change. Nothing changed.
You didn't?
No.
I mean, you live once.
That is how many people have landed in trouble. That you live once. That you live once. It's actually once, but if you live broke or misusing your money, you will hate that one life.
That's true. That's true.
That's your thing.
Lives,
it's a lie. It's a lie. We have to really think about it very clearly. Only say euro when you have money to do what you have planned to do.
After you've saved for 5 years.
After you've saved
for a week.
For a week or how long. So my journey has been interesting because, like I told you, when I look at, other than, you were wearing a dress. I remember in campus when you had 1,000 bob and you walked along Tomboya Street and the hawkers were there. You got a nice pair of shoes. You got a whole wardrobe change with 1,000 bob.
Sure.
Now, when the money come, the 1,000 can only buy a pair of socks. And now you need to go shopping at Dubai Mall or Mall of the Emirates or at a shop in the US called Macy's. I love their clothes. So you walk in there with $1 million and you still do a wardrobe change.
That's true.
By the way, remember 1,000 was doing a change. This one is also doing the same thing. So you just need to change your mindset and think, where am I at and what do I need to do to get to where I want. Set goals. If you're planning to go live in your own house, set goals. I remember one time when I was just married and I think we didn't even have a child, and then where we were living, rent was added, it was increased. So I told with actually 3,000 shillings, and it sounded a lot because it was like 20% increase, and we almost went to court personally. So I remember telling my husband, the thing is, this is the last place we are paying rent, so we were young. So he asked me, so what do you mean? I tell him, we better be building our own house. Oh, yes, where do we even get money to build a house? I told him, the thing is, we need to plan. I mean, and the truth is, that is the house, as at that time, that was the last house we actually lived and paid rent. By the time we were moving to our own house, our son was about 7 months old. Yeah, and so there's something interesting about God and just how nature works. When you focus your mind on something and you start working towards it, the whole world conspires to make you succeed. The same way I told you about paying debts. If you have purpose, I'm going to pay all the debts I have, or at least try, the world and God himself will conspire to make sure you succeed. So yeah.
I think you've thrown them all about, but it's so helpful, helpful. Thank you. So one more aspect that maybe you can bring as we close, because imagine time is up.
Yeah, that's so fast.
It's going too fast. Save versus invest. What works better?
Yeah, the truth is, saving alone will not maybe give you the financial freedom you have been looking at. Investing is a very big word because it means if we were all investors, we'd all be wealthy. But investing comes with different risks. It depends on the same way you have talked about personality. Just like not everybody can go start a business. some of us have to remain employed. And even being employed is actually a business because you're selling your skills and getting paid for it.
Good one.
So investing, remember I said, if your money is not enough, find something else to do.
Yeah.
Sit down. In this generation, the digital age we are in, there are so many opportunities. In the past about 4 weeks, I have been in a class learning about online lighting.
Wow.
And because I hear nowadays young people are just sitting at home and earning money.
Money is coming.
Money is coming. So why not? So learn something extra, learn an extra skill. And that class costed me so little. Even today I haven't believed. I won't say how much it is. Because so I was wondering, why don't people ever learn these things?
Yeah.
You sent a WhatsApp, a funny joke on WhatsApp, and you're fine with it. But where you sent something that will help you invest, or say, you just delete it or just pass it. Anyway, so investing is very detailed. For people who don't like risk, the things I mentioned are proper for them. But even when you have risk, you still want a bit of safety. So SACCO gives, I've been in a SACCO for a long time. Actually, from my first salary, I joined the SACCO immediately. And so most SACCOs will give you dividends of 10% per annum, which is quite something. That's a serious return. Money market, I checked yesterday, and most of them are paying between 7 to 9.5% per annum. Money market is a bit flexible because it means if you need your money, you just apply and you get your money in 2 1 days. And there are different things. Now, the real investment is where you decide, I want this to generate income for me.
Yeah.
Of course, in Kenya, most of us will think about real estate, which of course will take you time before you're there. And when you also look at the return on investment, it may not be that much as people imagine. It is somewhere you throw money to keep earning. You've put in money, it will take a long time before, on average, most rental or real estate investment take 15 years to pay you back your initial investment, you can imagine. So it is such a long-term project. Now, for investments, there are many things, many things. Even business, deciding to put in money in a business is an investment. And remember, that money can come back or may never come back. So it's a very risky thing. You have to evaluate, you have to look for get knowledge, seek advice, like I said. Once you have little money, pay a financial coach. There is a program run by Centonomy, which is very good. That is a place you can start from and get help. Get, the same way when you're depressed or you seek a doctor, seek a financial doctor. Yeah, that is something us Kenyans ignore a lot. We need a lot of help, yet you're not seeking it. Yes.
Last word, like one sentence to bless us.
What I can say is that money is never enough. Every day you wake up and work. If you're employed, treat that money very seriously. Keep as much as you can. Because one of the things you don't know when you're employed is when you're going home. Actually, I highly advise, if you're employed, imagine you're fired today. Always stay with that. Always. Yeah.
That's all we had time for today. I mean, thank you so much, Purity, for your time. Oh my goodness. If you haven't learned, don't say you didn't hear. Yeah? So thank you for watching. Thank you for spending time with us today. Let's keep talking on our social media platforms at Elevate TV Kenya. But for now, it is goodbye and God bless you.